Wisteria2909 back for another episode of Reading the Wrong Way. I'm finally back after a very long break I was truly not intending to take. But I've got a brand new camera and a new video editor that I've finally figured out how to use, and I'm very excited to review the series I've had planned all summer. It's finally time for Milkyway Hitchhiking by Serial. The series is rated T for teens, which is absolutely fine. Some of the short stories deal with rather dark themes such as abandonment, war, murder, and love, but nothing a teenager of today's world really shouldn't be familiar with. I will admit there are some stories that really pulled at my heartstrings and made me cry, so if you're sensitive, just be aware that you will feel all of the feels. The series is complete in 2 volumes that are slightly thicker and definitely heavier than regular manga volumes. The story's focus is on a mysterious cat affectionately named Milky Way after the pattern of the galaxy on her fur. She travels through space and time to observe and interact with people as they go about their lives, no matter how mundane or treacherous that may be. She admires the stars with a desert wanderer, watches the budding relationship of a teenage couple in feudal Korea, teaches a boy to play the cello, observes a knight torn between loyalty to her king and the pleas of a prisoner, and in her own coy cat way terrorizes 2 new roommates amongst many other tales of her journeys. So what do you need to know about the series? This series is a manhwa, which in the Western world most commonly refers to comics originating from South Korea. For a little bit of history, manhwa has had a long history of transformation, from being used as propaganda by Japan during their occupation and later by the US following World War II, to being heavily censored after a military coup in 1961 that put Park Chung-hee in power. Manhwa saw its golden age throughout the 80s and 90s as censorship was lessened after Park Chung-hee's assassination. It was during Kim Dae-jung's administration when manhwa saw its potential in the success of its Japanese manga counterpart internationally. Dark Horse Comics and Yen Press have both been increasing their published manhwa in recent years, with this beautiful work being one of many distributed to the Western world. Now that you've all learned something new today, let's talk about the physical volumes. As I mentioned, these are just a bit thicker than your average manga volume, and definitely heavier, weighing in at a little over 1 pound. It reads from left to right just like any English book, as Hangul is often read from left to right as well. I also want to mention that these books have a list price of $30. While this is much more expensive than your average manga, I assure you it is well worth it. The price comes mostly from the quality you are receiving. Not only are the pages high gloss, but every single page is in full color from start to finish. You can indeed look for it cheaper through outlets such as Amazon or Barnes & Noble, but I don't want anyone being scared away just because of the price. I assure you it is totally worth it. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous and truly the biggest reason I had to purchase this series. The cover caught my eye with its light pastel colors and slightly sketchy style. I find it quite difficult to accurately describe the style as it's very unique. Some scenes are wildly detailed and absolutely beautiful. Others include almost stick figure-like characters. Even Milky Way can look like a beautiful cat one moment and a wild-eyed demon the next. I mean none of this in a negative way. I actually very much enjoyed how the images and drawings changed to match the storyline. I found myself so lost in the drawings that I had to read some of the stories over again because I'd forgotten what was happening within the dialogue. Speaking of the dialogue, it's worth noting that Milky Way quite frequently adds cat sounds into her speech, such as, "How could Mew?" and "I'm wandering the desert in search of the meowst wistful yet meowst beautiful place in the world." I eventually got to the point where I think I just naturally inserted the human words, but I know this can be a bother to some people. Please don't let it deter you, though. The start of each chapter usually includes a drawing of Milky Way stating something that foreshadows what will happen in the following story. Once the story is complete, there's usually another small comic based on the story or a drawing of something that played an important role in the story. The book's stories are broken into chapters, which can be seen in the table of contents at the front of the book. The stories are for the most part written so you can pick it up whenever you left off, with the exception of a few stories that are multiple chapters long. Do you like cats? Do you like time travel and learning about other cultures? How about slice of life? Maybe add in a dash of mystery, murder, action, drama, and romance? Milky Way has all of these things and more. It has the ability to make you laugh out loud and cry your eyes out with characters that are so fleshed out in such a short time you can relate to them. The price is worth it for this amazing collection of short stories. So with that, I'm really sorry this video is so late, but hopefully now I'll be back on track and ready for the next one. See you next time!
When I was given freedom, oh, all I did was play. When I turned back, there was nothing to see. You closed your doors before I could open mine. Now I know, now I see, it was a waste.